Jose Buta making the start for the Mets this afternoon. Chopper past the glove of Vientos, deep in the hole. It's short, is short, and he throws out Corona for the first out. But Caratini goes down on strikes and a high fastball by Buta. And he hits it sharply past the glove of Machado at short. And Taylor's got a base hit to lead off the bottom of the first. Right after the trading deadline. Taylor gets a great jump and he steals the base. Just trying to work on stuff. Short gets the out the short way. And that's slugged out to center. Taylor a long way back and he makes the catch. That's line to the left, and Taylor's got his second hit. So Tyrone Taylor having himself a nice day. Good catch in center, and now 2 for 2 at the plate. Alvarez out to right field, chasing Leon back near the fence, and it's out of here. Francisco Alvarez goes the other way. A 2-run homer. His first of the spring to make it 3-0 New York.
Alvarez has got tremendous power to all fields.
And we are so pleased to welcome into the booth. That's President of Baseball Operations David Stearns. David, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So you've been on the job, what, about 5 months now? Tell us about the overall feel about what you've done over those 5 months.
I think at the front end of any of these jobs, what you're really trying to do is get to know your organization. These are massive operations with really 300 people in baseball operations alone, not even counting the business side. So you're trying to get to know all the people, understand what we do well, understand where there are areas where maybe I can offer some perspective and help us move forward. And so I felt good that we've been able to get a good start at that.
Has there been a moment in these 5 months, after spending nearly a decade in Milwaukee, where you said, wow, this is different having a job here with the Mets as opposed to with the Brewers?
Yeah, it's almost every day. This is a fundamentally different job, and yes, the subject matter is still baseball. What I'm responsible for is more or less still the same thing, but the different aspects of the job. There's clearly more media. There's more non-baseball stuff. It's a much bigger front office. All of those things, I think, are very different. You feel it every day. You grow into it. You adjust, learn things every day. And so now, 5 months into it, I certainly feel more accustomed to it than maybe I did on day one.
You know, when you go around to acquire players, there's analytics, there's information that can help you get the players that you would like. But when you're trying to hire a manager, it's almost more old school now, where you still have to ask around and see the reputation, but also know that Carlos Mendoza has done just about every job that you could have in baseball. That works to his advantage, right?
It certainly did. And you know, Mendy is not a guy that like snuck up on the baseball universe. I think people around baseball and front offices and certainly other coaches have known who Carlos has been for a long time. He's been very well respected, whether it's his time in winter ball, his time at WBC, certainly his time as the bench coach for the Yankees. And so when I came in and started the managerial search, he was a name that was on the list from day one. And it was just a matter of going through the process, getting to know him. And I think we both felt from our first conversation, then our first Zoom, then our first in-person meeting, that we enjoyed the conversation. And that's so much a part of that relationship between a manager and a front office or a head of baseball operations. You just got to enjoy talking to each other and talking about the game and working through problems. And I think we both felt that.
Fly ball by Sanchez over toward the right field corner. That's going to stay in the park. Can you explain to the fan base that wants the splashier moves why that's been your strategy?
Absolutely. And I love the splashy moves too. It's exciting to make those types of acquisitions. This is an organization that's done it in the past. We're going to do it again. Steve is very committed to supporting this team in any way possible. I think we have to do it when the time is right for the right player. And there was an instance in this year where we made a very significant run at a premium free agent in Yamamoto. Clearly we weren't able to get him because we thought that was the right player in the right situation. And I think going forward, there are going to be other right players in the right situation. And some of them we're going to be able to reel in and bring in, and others are going to choose other destinations as well. And that's part of it. But that we're in a situation where we can go toe-to-toe with every other team in baseball from a financial perspective is a huge advantage. And we're going to take advantage of that when the time is right for the right players. So I think, first of all, it's good to have those waves, right? Healthy organizations have waves of talent coming rather than just spots of prospect talent coming. You do need waves, and our goal is going to be to continue those waves throughout all levels of our minor league system. In terms of those specific battles, we want to do right by the players and not impact their development through our system. So if we believe a player needs more time in AA, needs more time in AAA, we're not going to allow the immediate term needs of a major league team to dictate that player's development.
So we're on the air now, Francisco. How did it feel to hit your first home run of the spring?
Feel great, man. Very, very good. I feel very, very good on the play right now.
Let me ask you a question. Your English has come such a long way in such a short period of time. How did you learn English as well as you have?
I learned English with a teacher with the Mets in minor leagues, and I'm asking every time, like, to the coaches, to my teammates. I'm asking a lot to Beatty, to Vientos, like, hey, how I can say that, how I can say that, and they tell me, and I start the learn.
You know, you were talking before about being more consistent. When you work with your hitting coach, Eric Chavez, what are you working on that will make you more consistent?
Now we're working on follow my direction, like use the whole field, like don't try to put everything, like use the middle, use the right field. Like last year I was trying to pull everything, but this year I want to use the whole field.
Last year you made such great strides defensively, especially in terms of framing. What's your priority defensively this year?
My priority, I think, call a better games and wins more games.
Winning more games, that's a good bottom line. I like that very much. And how do you go about that? How do you go about calling a better game?
I'm working on that, and I started like paying attention more to the swings and paying attention more like how our pitcher throw they pitches, like if they use same angle, or like how they can control better, like when I move away, when I move in, like I start to see that more.
Have you had a chance to catch Mike Vasil, Christian Scott, the young pitchers that are on the verge of making the big league?
Not ready, but I heard they are very good.
You have talked a little bit about changing your stance on throws to second base. Tell us what you're going to do differently.
All right, my right knee is down, and when the pitch coming and he do the full work, I put my right foot like my knee. I stand up a little bit, and I do the move.
So you're being down on your knee, but you get up in the middle of when you see the runner going?
Yeah.
Huh? That sounds hard to do. How's it coming?
I'm working on it.
That's great.
Well, who was your favorite catcher, your hero as a catcher when you were young?
Henry Blanco.
Oh,
Hank
you know
White.
Henry?
Of course, he was with the Mets.
Yeah, I know that.
Why was he your guy?
Because he was a Caracas catcher in Winter Ball, and I was a Caracas fan when I'm younger.
Have you guys developed, I saw last year you and Vientos and Beatty formed a great friendship. Do you feel like that will continue and the young guys kind of pulling for each other?
I think yes, that one continue, because like I feel they are like my brothers, and I love Mark and Beatty.
Last year, you got a chance to catch a couple of future Hall of Famers with Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. And Max especially had a lot of high praise for you. How much did that experience mean for you?
I think a lot. Like they teach me a lot. They give me more confidence behind the play. They always talk to me. Even if they don't pitch in that day, they ask me, and we talking about the game. I talking a little bit more with Max. I have a little bit more comfortable with him, and he teach me a lot, really.
When you came into the game today with Jose Butto, you guys threw a lot of pitches inside to the right-hand hitters. Is that something that Jose is working on?
Yeah, he's working in a new sinker now, and the sinker look pretty good, and we using sinker today. He wanna use a lot today. I talked with him yesterday, and he told me he wanna use the sinker a lot, and we did it.
Francisco, we are so proud of you for doing these interviews in English. You should be very proud of yourself too. It's fantastic. We are so appreciative, and congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.